kept you waiting, huh?
Metal Gear Solid 5 Ground Zeroes is probably one of the most controversial games in recent memory. Not for its shocking content, violence, or even a sex scene, Ground Zeroes controversy is more directly concerned with the length and price of the game, namely, that you will be spending $20 to $30 for a game that takes about an hour and a half to beat, a glorified demo.
This pirate crackdown's a go! Move!
As a longtime Metal Gear Solid fan, I personally count Metal Gear Solid 4 as one of my favorite games of all time. It even pissed me off about the length and price discrepancy of Ground Zeroes. How dare they charge us $30 for a retail box demo? What were they thinking? However, I decided to give Ground Zeroes a shot. Ah hell, even if I hated it, I needed to see what was going on in Kojima's mind.
What do you see? Press the call button to get more intel.
First off, let me say this. The game is absolutely gorgeous on the next generation platform. Mind you, I was playing the PlayStation 4 version for this review, and the rain effects, lighting, and motion capture work is truly an amazement. I was pretty wowed by the amount of detail in this game. It made me feel like this was truly something of next generation graphics. As for gameplay, Ground Zeroes has some of the best combat elements in a Metal Gear game, period. Sneaking is a genuinely fun and painless experience. While sneaking behind an enemy, holding him up, making you give him information about enemy locations on your map, or ammo or weapon reserves, or even some hidden secrets, is truly a reward for those looking for a stealthy gameplay experience.
You can now either interrogate him, knock him out, or kill him. His life is in your hands.
And if that isn't your thing, if you get compromised, Ground Zeroes has some of the best gunplay you would ever experience in a Metal Gear game. Without the need for wonky controls, and with a light variant of weapons that it gives you to play with, it truly is a blast. Enemy AI has also gotten some much needed revamps from previous Metal Gear games. If an enemy soldier notices you in Ground Zeroes, they may report some strange activity to HQ, radio in some strange sightings, and even ask for reinforcements, and generally act more like a real squad. They don't even need the alert signal to go up before they start investigating. If an enemy sees you in Ground Zeroes, they will report the incident and even sometimes get some backup to deal with you. Presentation and pacing all fit into great story elements for this Metal Gear game, and because of the length of the story, it ends up feeling more like a short movie or an episode drama on AMC. Needless to say, the cinematography is pure Kojima style, and they are presented in a way that few video games can still master today. It is genuinely fun to watch the cutscenes or even listen to the interactions between Snake and Kaz as you play through the game. And even though the main story only took me an hour and a half to beat, and if you know what you're doing, you can probably beat this game in about 10 to 30 minutes, Ground Zeroes does offer a lot of collectibles and replayabilities. After beating the single-player mission once, it said I was only done unlocking 9% of the content, and even after doing a few side missions, I'm still not done unlocking 100% of what Ground Zeroes has to offer. Ground Zeroes does offer a few side missions as well. These can range from assassinating targets, sabotage, or gathering intel, and sneaking around. These side missions add some interesting backstory for interactions between Snake and Kaz, and they are fun. Although they aren't really needed to enjoy the full experience of the game, however they do add some much needed value, about 3 hours in total to the $30 game.
Don't worry, I kept my word.
I must admit, the only thing I still don't like about this game is the voice actor switch from David Hayter to Kiefer Sutherland. Although Sutherland does do a good job as Big Boss, it is definitely something that longtime Metal Gear fans are going to struggle with. For newcomers, they won't notice the difference, although if you're a newcomer into Metal Gear, you may not want to make Ground Zeroes your first entry into the game. Metal Gear Solid is known for having an infamously complex story. But needless to say, I still think David Hayter did the better job as the voice actor, but Sutherland isn't all that bad to listen to. It just is very weird when you listen to him off screen, and then you realize, oh wait a minute, that's Snake.
Fine, I like some alone time now and then.
Ground Zeroes is a good game. Hell, it's even a great game. I truly enjoyed every moment I had playing this game, and I still want to go back and perfect my sneaking skills, or take down another target in a side mission. It has some of the best gameplay I've played so far in a Metal Gear game. An interesting prologue to the Phantom Pain. If length and value is a problem for you, and you can only buy a couple games a year, I wouldn't recommend buying Ground Zeroes. Also, if you've never played a Metal Gear game, don't start off with Ground Zeroes as your first entry into the series. You're not going to get any of the story. It's going to be way too complex for you to understand. However, as someone who plays a lot of games, I truly enjoyed every moment of Ground Zeroes and highly recommend it for longtime fans of the series. It is a great game and has great gameplay. The best way I can compare the value proposition to you is if you spend $20 to $30 on a new Blu-ray release of a movie or a DVD, you're looking at a similar entertainment value, similar prices, and you can only replay a movie once, and it's the same linear experience over and over again. In that sense, Ground Zeroes is not that bad of a value. You can continue to replay it in different ways. It is longer than a movie, and it's also like going to a high-priced restaurant and ordering a fancy appetizer for your meal. It's a small and delicious taste of what's to come in The Phantom Pain, and after playing this game, I can't wait for some more. Metal Gear Solid Ground Zeroes gets an 8.5 out of 10.